Hello there everybody, this is Krista and welcome back to W.I.T.C.H Tarot, and today I thought I would talk you through a reading that I came up with for myself and have been doing pretty much almost every single day for the past few weeks or so, and it's been really helpful. So I think I want to tie this back kind of to my tarot and ADHD. I'm broadening it up. I'm gonna say tarot and neurodivergence, probably, unless it feels really specific, series. In that, I kind of, what name did I come up with for this reading? It's really like a get to know yourself reading, because something that I have been thinking a lot about and just sort of dealing with, in a way, is really feeling disconnected from a sense of self, from becoming aware of how highly masking I am when it comes to my neurodivergence. So, one of those factors of masking that, when I say highly masking, it just means that, I don't know, I just do it to a very high degree. I don't want to say like I'm just real good at it. I don't know what the right terminology is. But one of those factors is that I almost feel chameleon-like, where when I am kind of in a public or in-person setting and I'm not super familiar with it, not super familiar with the people that I'm with, I am really good at kind of just taking on different characteristics that in one way or another I perceive as kind of a safe way to be, rather than letting myself just be myself. Now, luckily, I do have a lot of spaces, including this one, where I don't feel a need to do that. I can kind of just be myself, but being so high masking for so long, it's just been this realization of that I've kind of been going through a lot of my life with those chameleon-like tendencies, which is okay. It's not a bad thing. That's what I felt like I needed to do with the information I had. But as a result, there's feelings that come up of like, oh my gosh, who even am I? Do I know myself? And that's a really scary thing. So naturally, we go to the cards. And I kind of came up with this spread for myself. It's quick and simple in order to just start to learn different facets of myself and really get down to that true essence of me, not parts of me that have kind of been incorporated from the chameleonness, if that makes sense. So I don't remember exactly what I decided to title it. I don't know. You'll see it in the title. So the positions are: the first card I draw is a card from an archetype deck. And the question I ask here, I will put all the questions below. The question I ask first is, what aspect of myself is... Apologies! Did anyone hear that running water noise? Because that just totally, oh my gosh, that just totally threw my brain so off. I forgot what I was saying and had to. It was my arrow garden was just, I don't know, churning water. So I had to take care of that before I could continue. Anyway, back to the first question. Archetype deck. The first question I like to ask is, what aspect of my true self is looking to get known a little bit better today? I'm sure I'll word that better down below, so take a look at that, but you get my gist. And so I want to kind of show some of the archetype decks I like to use. First and foremost, Are We Surprised? Oracle of the Roses. Really, really love this one. I have probably talked all of your ears off about it at this point, but it's a really good one. And it really took me by surprise because I've seen this one around quite a bit, or before I had gotten it. And I just didn't think it was one I would like. At the time, I wasn't super into roses. I have a rose bush that looks like that now. It's so cool. Or a vining rose, I should say. But ever since starting my garden, I don't know, roses they've just been it. I have three different rose plants going right now, and I love them so much. So there's a connection there, kind of a bit of a special interest per se, but I do really like how the whole deck is true archetypes. It really gives a lot to work with. This is probably one of my favorites for this reading, and it is the one, I will do a sample reading. It is the one we will do today, or use today, I should say. So that is the Oracle of the Roses. I will leave that out. Another one I really like is called, it's the Witch Oracle, which is an acronym for Women in Total Control of Herself, which, something like that. This actually, so I kickstarted this for the indie version, supposedly. I don't know. All I can say is that it is out mass market now with US Games. From the videos I've watched on it, I don't know what the difference is. I think we maybe, with the Kickstarter, have like 2 extra cards or something. I really love the quality of this deck. I love this deck, but I guess that's something to note, that the US Games price is much better than what I paid for this. And it really does look like the same thing, so if this one catches your fancy, definitely check that out. But this is another one. It's very feminine based, but it is completely archetypes. Now, it's not necessarily as straightforward as the Oracle of the Roses. This is one that I definitely need to get into the guidebook. It is, when I use this deck, it feels like a bit of a deeper experience, I guess you could say. It really feels like I'm digging in there, which is not always what I want. But when I do want that, I really love this deck for that. It's one that I kind of really tend to sit with a bit more. I really do like this one. So that is, I think it's called Women in Control of Herself, something like that. All right. I've got 2 more to show, but only one more that I have personally used in this reading, and it is the Wild Unknown Archetypes by Kim Kranz, which, I mean, that was an obvious one, right? So I do really like using this one. The only thing I will say is that the deck is not fully composed of archetypes. There are also like locations, objects, I can't think of the other categories, but there's other categories. So, you know, that's something to keep in mind. I've considered pulling out just the archetypes to use, but I haven't really done that yet. What I will say is I have pulled some like the object or location cards while doing this reading, and I have found that it works. So I think the thing I really like about this reading, because it tends to be my reading style in general, is that it's pretty open. There's a lot of different ways you could go with this kind of reading. A lot of different directions. So that is the Wild Unknown Archetypes. And last but not least, I haven't tried this one out, but I do think it would be really interesting, and I want to try it out. It is, oh my goodness, dropping stuff. The Divine Muses, because I'm pretty sure this is kind of archetype-ish, right? It gives you like these characters, well, yeah, no, I really do think this could work. There are some keyword cards though, so maybe, I don't know, I think this could be interesting. I'm definitely going to try this one out. I don't know if this is currently available. I know that there is a French, I want to say French mass market edition of this, so, you know, that's a way to get a hold of it. I wonder if it's coming out mass market in the US. I don't know. I have a feeling it's not like permanently out of print though, so that is the Divine Muses Oracle. All right, moving on. That was a long explanation for just the first question. So, to recap, we've got the Archetype deck, standing in for question number 1. Ooh, we are way too zoomed in. Are we going to reveal? my setup. Oh no. Okay, so standing in for question number 1, we've got the archetype, which really gives us the basis for our reading here. It is sort of that aspect of self we are digging into. And then for question number 2 over here is, what feelings does this part of myself bring up? And for that, I exclusively use the Tarot of Feeling. This one is by my friend Andy, and I think I'm putting this in the title, but spoiler, this reading really formed around Andy's decks, and wanting to really use them together and just use them. I don't know, it's just when I was kind of feeling this certain kind of way about just self-identity, really, selfhood, the deck I instantly wanted to use was the Tarot of Feeling. And this is a new version coming out soon. I think it is kind of like a vintage edition. She did just put out the Feel Your Chakras as a vintage edition, and I think this was also called a vintage edition. So keep your eyes out for this, because I think this might be my favorite version yet. I love the size of it. It's a bit oversized. I love the coloration. So the second question being, what feelings does this aspect of self evoke? And then the third card here that I always add into this reading is a Feel Your Chakras card. And I am so excited to show you that just launched today on Kickstarter. So you could go back it right now if you want to. I'll let you pause. I'll let you pause the video. Just in case. Go ahead. Be my guest. It's alright. I understand. I'm gonna do the same. It is the new Feel Your Chakras Oracle. This is like an OG edition. I like to call it the bougie edition. Because it comes in its own 2-piece box. Look at this. Okay. Are you kidding me with the rainbow? So good. So this is put out by Andy from Metaphysics Made Easy. It is on Kickstarter right now. I am so excited for her. So proud of her. It is amazing. So I will just real quick show you some of the updates. So it is pretty much the same-ish as the original version, where we get these different chakras, the chakra cards, broken into colors. The font is different. There is an expanded third. I have these backwards. Hold on. I put crown before third eye. There's an expanded crown chakra section compared to the first edition of this deck, which is a similar size. So the sticker edition is that new mini one that she came out with, which I really love. And that had the expanded crown chakra as well. Now, one of my favorite things, look at the backs. So Andy switched from having, in the original it was all different patterned backs that did match with the colors, to having this just like flat color for each of the chakras. If it's looking like they're different shades, they're not. It's just my lighting right now. And something about seeing this rainbow, oh my gosh, it just tickles my brain in all the right ways. I love it so much. So, how I like to use this for this reading is, as you could see, it wasn't just for show that I had this broken into the different sections. The deck also comes with these blank color cards to match each of the chakras, so it's double-sided, and it really gives this cool opportunity. If you wanted to do like a chakra spread, you could lay these all out in positions. What I like to do though for this reading, the third question that is always part of the reading is, what energy do I need to check into? So we've got, what aspect of self is looking to get known a little bit better right now? What feeling does this evoke? And what energy do I need to check in with? And so I will actually shuffle these 7 cards, randomly pull one. And so say I pull I don't know, the heart chakra for this reading. I will then go and just use the heart chakra cards. Okay, I think that's enough talk. And then beyond that, I will pull tarot cards, but it just kind of depends on what the reading brings up. So why don't we do one? Shall we? I think we shall. So we are going to use Oracle of the Roses, like I said, because, I don't know, will I ever be over this deck? I don't think so. I just really like it. So, all right. Our first question here is, what aspect of self is looking to get known a little bit better? Ooh, is that a terrible noise for you? Apologies if it was. All right, and we got the Ruler. Okay, so the aspect of self that is wanting to get known a little bit better right now is the Ruler. I guess I should have prefaced, I'm doing this reading for me. I don't know if that's weird. I didn't want to just like do a this reading wouldn't work as really a general reading, I don't feel. But you know, if you connect with any part of this, then hell yeah, brother, you know? Do what you want with that. Anyway, the Ruler. So the aspect of self that is wanting to get known a little bit better is the aspect of myself that is able to take control, whether that is for good or bad. And how are we gonna know that? We gotta pull. What feeling does this evoke? So it's really cool because these three decks together just really build on each other in this reading in such a cool way. So I tend to not even really pause and analyze each separately. I tend to pull them all at once. Whoop. And yeah, look at it kind of as a whole. All right. The Knight of Wands. He's been following me. Whatever, that's okay. All right, and then last but not least, we will shuffle these chakra cards and see what energy do I need to check into. I guess it's energy center, right? I think that's the term. Oh, I should say too that the deck does come with one of those, the cards that she usually puts in where it tells you what each chakra is and gives you some keywords for each, but I keep this on my desk so that I can reference it, which I often do. Alright, anyway, back to what I was doing. What energy is it gonna be? This one? Ooh, exciting! The third eye, okay. Does anyone else just get excited if you do anything with chakras, like with third eye? Yes. The intuitiveness of that. The keywords, let's read the keywords. We've got intuition, imagination, and subconscious. How exciting. So now I've separated out my third eye cards and we're gonna pull one of those and see how this reading comes together. So we've got I see and trust my intuition. Neat. Okay, cool. So this feels like to me that the aspect of self that is really coming forward is my own ability to take control and just kind of really trust myself to take that control, because I really do see this Knight of Wands energy as having that sense really of control, of having authority. The Knight of Wands is having an idea and not even thinking twice about it. They're just going for it, which is definitely something, I mean, I think a lot of us struggle with, honestly. I know I definitely do that kind of imposter syndrome, especially that has been coming from this just realization I've had in this thing I've been working on of like, oh my gosh, who am I? There's gonna be a lack of trust there that you have to rebuild. And so what I kind of need to dig into here is that part of me that is able to have authority over what it is I want to do, and that I can have an idea and just run with it and let myself run with it because I know it's going to be good. I know it's going to be, I'll end up okay. Cool. So this is kind of how I do that reading. It really is a jumping off point. Then I will tend to, depending on what comes up here, I will pull out a tarot deck and really sort of dig into that, get into the idea. I like to pick kind of a mashup. I do a bit of a mashup between the method of Chrissy Bentley, who also she has the Narrative Alchemy Tarot, which is also chakra based, and she did this fun challenge where she picked a deck for each chakra, and depending on which Narrative Alchemy card she picked, that was the deck she used. But then also Dawn Michelle, who does those open style readings where depending on which oracle card she pulls, she will choose her tarot deck off of that. I do a mixture of both those things where I kind of go with the vibe of the reading, but then also like to consider the chakra being represented and, you know, what form's there. So just for funsies, I think I would choose, because I immediately knew, the Raven's Prophecy Tarot, right? Because up here we've got this real fiery energy, and then down here with that intuitiveness, that imagination, I really feel like this deck just portrays both of those things so well. So I'm excited. I'm excited to keep going into this reading because I think we're going to use this tarot. So that is what I would do. This spread here really kind of sets up the reading for me, and then I will pull, I don't know, I'm usually a 3-card pull kind of gal. So I will usually pull 3 tarot cards to expand on that. And how I would do so, you know, considering this message of this is the aspect of self coming forward, here's how it's presenting itself. The question I might ask would be, how can I get to know this part of myself a little bit better? How can I help this aspect of self, I don't know, just see the light of day more, become more of a central part of who I feel I am, you know? I don't know. I'm hoping this isn't super confusing and was enjoyable, but I think that's all I have to say for the day. I'd love to know if you do this reading, if you get anything out of it, or if you like have other ideas based on this reading. That's always such a fun thing. But yeah, I will dare I even say I'll leave links to things below? I'm really gonna try. There will definitely be the link to Andy's Kickstarter below. That will be there. I will at least list the decks. Eek! Will I? Oh my gosh, will she, won't she? It's always the... it's always the drama of my videos, huh? Anyway, I hope you're having a wonderful week, and I will see you again very soon.